Cypress Fairbanks Independent School District presents on-demand professional development video series. This is Creating Safe Spaces Part 2. In Part 1 of our video series of Creating Spaces, we discussed what safe spaces were and the benefits of adding one to your classroom. In this training, we will share experiences on what works and suggestions on what to include in your safe space. With a whopping 87% of American schools reporting that their students are struggling with social and emotional development, providing safe spaces for our students to cool down and chill out when they're struggling with complicated emotions is more vital than ever. So, how do you create a calm down corner in your classroom? How do you create that safe space, that chill out zone? And what exactly is a safe space anyway? In our first video, Creating Safe Spaces Part 1, we discussed how safe spaces is a powerful strategy to help students manage their emotions and regain focus. This designated space provides a safe and comforting environment where students can go to self regulate when they feel overwhelmed, anxious, or upset. By incorporating calming elements such as soft seating, sensory tools, and visual aids, the Calm Down Corner or safe space encourages students to develop healthy coping mechanisms. Establishing clear guidelines and introducing the corner to students can ensure it is used effectively and respectfully. This proactive approach fosters a supportive classroom environment and atmosphere, promoting emotional well-being and enhancing overall learning experiences. In part 2, we'll be giving you suggestions to what to put in your safe space in your classroom. Yes, safe spaces provide soft seating, but there's a lot more to a safe space for it to be effective. For example, be sure that you have step-by-step instructions that detail your expectations. You may want to pause the video to read through these examples. Another item you want to provide in your safe space or calm down area is a reflection sheet so that students are able to evaluate how they're feeling. Provide calming activities to change their state. Supply your students with visual aids like emotion cards or feeling cards to help them identify and label their emotions and help foster emotional literacy. You can encourage students to reflect on their feelings and choose the emotions they are experiencing on the charts or cards. This not only promotes emotional self awareness, but also empowers your students to take steps toward emotional regulation and well being. The strategy of using a safe space or calm down area in your classroom is a way to teach skills. Provide ideas for how they can change their actions and solve social problems. Give students examples of what they can do to help calm themselves. This space becomes more than just an area to sit and be quiet and calm down, but an area to teach new skills for the next moment. Some students may need an outlet to get rid of angry or frustrating emotions. For students to get the most out of the time they spend calming down in your quiet corner, provide a few tangible tools that help students regulate their emotions. This could include stress balls, fidget toys, sensory bottles, or breathing exercises. A simple sensory bottle with baby oil and blue beads can be sufficient to help students calm down. Keep a supply of scrap paper for them to scrunch or rip up, or a small tub of Play-Doh for them to squeeze and roll out. Your rules and expectations should spell out what students should do with these materials when they're done with them and how to clean up all that paper. To keep the area neat and tidy, include a box or basket. Putting your tangible items in a box or basket also is a way to keep your calm down area portable. Remember that any items can be added to the box, but you want to be sure to discuss what students have in the box that will help them calm down. Be sure to include direction cards to help students get started when they're upset. And suggest items that could not be harmful if misused, such as levies, stress balls, puzzles, pipe cleaners, kinesthetic sand, etc. Be sure to discuss with the student ahead of time the proper way to use these items to help calm them down. To make sure your safe space is being used effectively and efficiently, there's a few things to remember. First, introduce and pre-teach your procedures. You would do this for any procedure that you have in your class, and so using a safe space is no different. Be sure that you're talking with the class about who can use the safe space or calm down corner. Be sure to discuss with the class why to use it. When you have something like this safe space, it's important that students understand why it's there and what's in it for them, what benefit do they get for using it. Make sure you're setting up parameters of when students can use it and where is the calm down corner and how can they use it. What is the procedure for when they need to access it? How will they let you know? And how will they get over to the calm down area? Notice that these are all very clear to the students. It's not just, hey, we have some pillows in the back corner. Why don't you go hang out there when you're feeling stressed out? It's very specific and overt in how and why it's there and how we're going to use it in our classroom. Got to set up those expectations. Teach students how long to stay in the safe space. Use a timer. Until you feel calm can be very vague, so be sure you're setting parameters on this. It should not take very long to happen. If it does, perhaps other interventions need to take place. Typically, the time frame is 5 to 10 minutes, but that varies with the child's age and situation. Have a variety of items in the space. Not every student calms down in the same way. We talked about providing the safe space boxes or baskets. Perhaps you could have smaller ones for individual students created in ahead of time. Set up that semi-private area. Be sure that you have proximity to other students, but you also are providing a space for them to be apart so that they can calm down. But you need to be sure that you see them, that they are visible to you. Make sure that they're not using the calm down space to avoid something like a non-preferred task. Don't tell them they can't use the calm down space, but remind them that they still need to complete any work that's missed. That's why that timer is so important. Prompt students to visit the space if you can see signs of sadness, anger, or anxiousness, or you suspect that they might need a break. Help students label their feelings before and or during the visit to the space. Remind students of when they can visit the space, when is it appropriate, and positively reinforce students for using the space properly. We've reached the end of part 2, Creating Safe Spaces. In both part 1 and 2, we have discussed how to create a calm down corner in your classroom as a powerful strategy to help students manage their emotions and regain focus. Remember to select an out of the way area in the classroom to create your safe space or calming corner. Furnish the space with a soft rug, beanbag chairs, floor cushions, or pillows. Consider adding music and a headphone, books and magazines, etc. Set up partitions to provide enough privacy for the student while still allowing visibility by you, the teacher. Post a set of visual calming strategies in the area to provide self-managing reminders to the student. Talk with the student privately and explain how and when to use the area. Let the student know when they're allowed to go to the area at the first sign of becoming upset. Tell the student that you'll meet them back in the safe space, and together you'll quietly agree upon the time limit to use the area. Use a visual timer with the agreed upon time. When the time is up, privately reinforce the student for returning to their work area. This reinforcement may help the student repeat the desired behavior in the future. When you feel that the student is beginning to use this area frequently and suspect that he is possibly avoiding work, you may decide to start providing a limited number of break tickets that can be specifically used in the morning or in the afternoon to curtail this behavior. Utilize the calming corner with all the students that are in your classroom. However, you are targeting this intervention with specific students and making sure that they are getting the reinforcement they need to use the calm down corner or safe space. Perhaps when you're talking to students and you start seeing those nonverbal or verbal cues that the student is getting upset, you can remind them that the safe space or calm down corner is available to them. Remember, calm down corners and safe spaces are designated spaces that provide a safe and comforting environment where a student can go to self-regulate when they feel overwhelmed, anxious, and upset. They are used to help teach students skills in order to become more self-regulatory. Elements such as soft seating, sensory tools, and visual aids encourage students to develop healthy coping mechanisms. Establishing clear guidelines and introducing the corner to the students proactively can ensure that it is used effectively and respectfully. This proactive approach fosters a supportive classroom atmosphere, promoting emotional well-being and enhancing overall learning experiences for all students in the class. We encourage you to implement the strategies from this video to enhance your classroom environment and classroom management. Thank you for taking the time to view our professional development on demand. See you next time.